live. There we go. Let's go live here too. Are we live? We're live. Look like I just woke up. Sort of, kind of, not really, but thank you guys for tuning in and joining today's Monday Markets live chat on everything crypto. Super Bowl yesterday too. Who watched it? Were you into all the commercials? What were you in for? I turn this down just a little bit on the live. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. Well, really informal sort of crypto chat today. We're here on X. We're here as well on YouTube Live. I've got sort of a brief little breakdown of what I kind of want to talk today about. Biggest thing, if you were there, you saw the Stool president drop to his own meme coin. We'll chat a little bit about that. I don't know if any of you got into that, but if you did and you were able to, work within the system, you know how meme coins work, maybe you were able to do pretty well off that. So if you do have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to field them. I did have a couple talking about some predictions this cycle on Sui. One came in on Solana, and then one came in sort of talking about some moonshot meme coin tokens. We'll maybe talk on those about what could come of them. So just enjoying another coffee, trying to get awake here for the day. Monday's starting. Monday's a fantastic way to sort of kick off the week. For me, I'm always motivated a little bit more on Monday to set myself up, spend a few minutes on Sunday to get myself ready for the week. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat here, or feel free to DM me up as well. But let's sort of kick on with it. So Super Bowl, obviously crypto commercials. The recap, did you guys see anything that was exciting? I saw a lot here in Canada for Wealthsimple and other trading platforms. I see that TradFi as well is starting to hop on the bandwagon. If you're here in Canada and you saw any of those TD commercials that were talking about how you can buy fractions of stocks, it was done in maybe a really amateur way, but I think when we're looking at retail investors getting into the space, super, super important to get more people in the space. So I think that's really good overall. Did they execute it well? Maybe not the best, but hey, they're trying, and it's really just showing me that TradFi is kind of a little bit like they're scared. They're joining the party, but they're unsure of how to have that discussion. So we'll see what comes of it. But that was the one that I noticed the most of. It wasn't a crypto commercial, but I really feel like TradFi, in a sense, is trying to kind of mimic themselves to speak more to Web3 and blockchain and crypto. So I think that's good. Did you also see any projects or any crypto stuff that made a splash or resonated really well with you? Are we going to see any narratives forming within the degen space for meme coins as well? Very well could happen. I mean, I know that, when you look at the crypto space, there are a whole bunch of people that are probably, right on the pulse for any potential viral or memeable things that come out of a big event like that people can get into crypto. So, hey, Jason, what's up? Thanks for popping in. Really appreciate it. You're coming in from X, so thanks, man. Send me a message. I'm actually going to be talking about Sui, or Sui. This is the second question that came in from that, so we'll talk on that. Recently, I just actually got back from Miami. I was there for the Real Vision crypto gathering as well, not a conference. They're really keen on that not being a conference, but some really good discussions overall, some fantastic networking, and was able to sit in on a chat from one of the heads from the Sui Foundation as well. So that's Christian Thompson. So really good discussion. We'll talk a little bit on that. We talked about the Super Bowl commercials. Maybe we'll talk about briefly a little bit of the Stool President meme coin drop. I saw Nick from at Choose Rich on Twitter drop a lot on that. I need to get caught up on what happened with it all because I really wasn't in tune with the drop. But if you got on that, how are you doing with it? Did you get in? Did you get out? Did you have some fun with it? Just going to pop a little message here. Boom. Just had another question come in about Solana as well. So we'll briefly talk on that today, but really informal sort of process. I would like to do more of these lives. Maybe we'll get an OBS switcher as well to really do a better high quality version for you guys going forward too. So, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with our buddy Dave Portnoy from Stool or from Barstool Sports, the Stool president, if you will, he's been doing the obviously market updates from Kraken, and I, to be honest, really haven't been that tuned into it. But obviously, with him talking about a meme coin drop, got me really interested in what's going on. He does it in a way that's abrasive because that's how Dave Portnoy does things. But if you've been in the meme coin space for a while, you know he's way out of his scope there. But if you've been in the meme coin space for a while, you also know that this is possibly a good thing overall. The more people, the more adaptation, the more mainstream talk about crypto, especially meme coins, is going to push it forward. Was it a good thing that he dropped it and got pissed off and adjusted his position? Or I know it got listed on Kraken, so I'm sure a lot of people were shorting the hell out of it, just because that's the way the meme coin game goes. Is it the right way? I really don't think so, but that's really how people play it. So, yeah, I think he was in for a shock there. I'm going to spend a little bit of time getting caught up on all the details today, but really exciting overall that at least more discussion is happening and the narrative is pushing forward. Again, I don't know if it's a good thing overall of what happened, and I'll spend a little bit of time following Choose Rich to get sort of patched in and get caught up on X, but I think it's a good thing overall. If you're wondering who I am, hey, look at that, the algorithm speaking to me. Nick O'Neill, who's Choose Rich on Twitter. First video pops up there, so I'll have to get caught up on what he's doing. Was able to meet him. He had a meetup in Miami, which was fantastic. He also did join the Solana party from the Solana Foundation party, so got to get a selfie with the guy. And if you're following him on X, or if you're not following him on X, highly recommend that you get on it. Yeah, other than that, I mean, my name's Dan. I am reasonably into crypto, like this much. But for me, I'm the admin on a project. I've also developed and launched my own token as well. It's a meme coin project with utility as I'm going through the process of tokenizing my brand from Web 2 to Web 3. Keep it super simple. But if you do have any questions for me on anything crypto, meme coins, hit me up. If you don't want to be on the live, that's fine as well. Always open to have a discussion with anybody, especially around crypto. So going back to the Real Vision conference that I was at, I did meet some amazing people. So if you are someone that is looking to dive deep into crypto, I'd highly recommend that you start positioning yourself to go to local crypto events or travel to crypto events. They're a great way to network if you're someone who's launching a token or interested in it. Great discussions can be had, and that way you're in sort of the group of peers that are like connected with you. A lot of the times I met someone from New York who had a lot of questions about New York specific crypto questions. They were able to actually join a community through the Real Vision app that was able to answer a lot of those questions. So you'll notice in the crypto communities that there are a lot of people within your geographical location, but also sharing the same mindset with you. So finding those right people, getting connected with them, really, really key overall going forward. We got my bullish mug here. Being a Taurus, it just sort of works. Um, yeah, so it was really, really beneficial. And within that crypto gathering, the people that I met, the connections that I made was phenomenal. So I'd highly encourage you guys to look at engaging yourself within obviously the crypto space of those people that share the same like minds that you do. So I got a message here about turning the music down a little bit. My bad. Um, let's sort of chat and shift over to like crypto overall. So obviously with the market outlook within Q1, it hasn't been the most positive overall. I think there's some incredibly unrealistic expectations for people when it came to this new administration and the crypto space. I really think people had expected like a 150 Bitcoin by now, a strategic reserve, maybe a Solana ETF. All of these things, although would be great to already have happening, it takes a tremendous amount of time to um, not only organize it but change the entire like political sphere and approach when it comes to crypto and meme coins. So I'm incredibly bullish on this cycle, and I do think that it will happen in time. I just don't think people were realistic with what's going on. And when you look at the most recent um, press conference that they've had, you can tell that they're really trying to like squeeze something out of nothing. Like these are probably press conferences that arguably could be a tweet overall. So on one side of it, people are expecting a whole lot. On the other side of it, I just don't think we're quite ready for that mainstream push, or people are just expecting it to happen far sooner or far faster than it can. So it'll happen. Be patient. Like we'll get there. We'll we'll talk a little bit about my kind of predictions for Bitcoin, Solana, and Sui here in 2025 and this bull run. Obviously, not financial advice. This is all entertainment. When it comes to anything crypto, obviously never invest something that you're unwilling to part with, because it can happen so fast in crypto. Don't ever get involved in something that you have no understanding about. You have no sort of realization of the risks with it. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. But I mean, when we look at going within Bitcoin, obviously we're seeing with the ETF and price targets, Bitcoin today is trading at 97,000. We're within a couple thousand of that key 100K level, which I think is super important. And once we can sort of hold and break through that on a big level, I think we're going to see more people getting involved in the ETFs. I mean, when we look at Bitcoin approving the ETFs in 2024, we're going to see more institutions filing more crypto index ETFs. I've got a note here that Franklin Templeton is into that as well. I don't know the honesty behind that or if they're in it, but just something that I've got here on my research notes. Overall, I think when we're looking at more digital assets, it does signal overall increased confidence within the space and within the crypto space. So more people discussing crypto, more large institutions getting involved in ETFs, I think is only a good thing overall going forward. So yeah, that's where we're at for the ETFs in terms of Bitcoin. Could we see a Solana ETF pop out of nowhere? Could we see a meme coin ETF? That's sort of the wild and crazy approach. I'm not entirely sure if that's ever going to happen, but regardless, it may. Now, when we look at Solana, obviously Solana, there has been a few institutions that have filed for an ETF. To be honest, I don't think we've seen anything come out yet. But with obviously Solana priced right around $200, I think this morning we're sitting at, let's refresh this so I can get you an accurate. So 203. So we're just over that $200 level. I think some of these price levels are incredibly important going forward. Um, I mean, if I would have told you over a year ago that we'd be sitting right under 100K Bitcoin, we'd be sitting at Solana over $2. Um, Sui would be over $3, and we'd be in sort of a market crash, or a lot of fear within the market. I don't think you probably would have believed me. That said, I think there's a incredible opportunity that's here within the crypto space. I think there's an incredible opportunity. We're just going to adjust that. There we go. Incredible opportunity here within the crypto space. And if you're keen on riding it out and seeing what kind of arbitrage you can make of crypto within this 2025, I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity still. And I think the growth that we're going to see within the crypto space is going to be massive, whether that be just more institutions getting involved in it, or we're actually going to see like mainstream adoption. From a discussion I actually had with a gentleman the other day, we were currently talking about when we're actually going to see full mainstream get into it, and we both had kind of danced around that whole topic for a few minutes, but the end of it, the general consensus is I think people are ready for full mainstream digital adoption within cryptocurrency yet. There's probably, as we scale this and as we go within the cryptocurrency space or the cycle space, we're probably going to see more of an adoption going into next cycle. That said, what we've seen now comparative to a while ago, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, but when we're looking at full like mainstream adoption to the crypto space and the crypto landscape, likely it won't be this cycle. And I think just with the overall froth in the market and the unrealistic expectations that people had, they thought we'd see like a 150K Bitcoin, maybe 200 by Q2 here, and just everybody fully into crypto. And it just really doesn't work like that, because the time overall is what we have to look at. And it's just not there yet. So that's the most positive thing I can say with it. That said, with what's going on right now, we're getting there. We're seeing more crypto in terms of advertising, in terms of marketing. We're seeing like Coinbase on the floor for major NBA games. We're seeing crypto.com commercials everywhere. So it's coming. It's just, again, the time that we need to see to get there will happen, and more people having that discussion is super important. So that's really all I got around there. When we're talking about obviously some key news for the week that we're looking at, nothing major in terms of February. We've got no FMOC meetings. We've got no interest rate meetings coming up. But that said, we know that within obviously crypto, and we saw with the Trump coin launch, we saw with changing MicroStrategy to just strategy, things can pop up within the crypto space so fast and catch people off guard. So if you're fearful and you're getting out of the market right now, that kind of tells me that you're maybe overexposed or just not prepared to handle the way that the bull run works, these large peaks and then these troughs that can happen and really scare people and really shake them out. So there are a few factors when you look at that, but if you're getting scared from this, likely you're too overexposed, or you're just not in the right assets that are beneficial or can work with your risk tolerance. So you may need to look at that on a fundamental perspective. Other than that, I mean, really nothing coming up this week. Strategy buying more Bitcoin, which is, that's what they do. Could we see like an XRP news come out? Could we see something on Solana's Fire Dancer? Absolutely. But don't expect to see anything this week. I think it's just watching the market, seeing what's going on. We're seeing a lot of movement and volatility within the meme coin space. I mean, I've got a meme coin watch list here that is uh, is going well so far, but we see a lot of volatility within that. I mean, just for example, we're going to take a few tokens that we're talking about here. Something like SPX 6900 sitting at a $630 million market cap. That's today. You guys can't see this. We really need an OBS system. That's maybe something that we're going to start looking at. But, January 10th, we had SPX around $1.60. January 10th or January 19th, same thing, around $1.60. And then with the complete capitulation from end of January into now, we saw it drop down to like a $580 million market cap, and a bit of recovery here into that $630 million market cap. So those things happen within crypto space big time. And just be prepared for it, because it can be a rocky ride if you're not ready for it. One of the tokens that I'm an admin on, which is called Goku, we're talking Saiyan on Solana. With that, we've seen a big bit of price action, obviously, over the last little bit. We're currently at a $16 million market cap. But as of even a couple days ago, February 6th, we were down as low as a $7 million market cap. So the meme coin game, we see a lot of volatility with it based on a lot of speculative news. So that's kind of part of it, and don't let it scare you out. We've seen a whole bunch of recovery. Like I mentioned, $7 million market cap over the last few days, and recovered to just under 16. So if you're ready for it, if you're prepared for it, there's a lot of ways that you can benefit from it. But on the other side of it, as a developer and being in the admin on a meme coin space, I urge you that if you are someone that is looking to play this game properly, there's the right way, and then there's the wrong way to do this. If you're unsure of the right way to do it, maybe reach out to me. I'm happy to talk about it. Maybe we'll pop on an X live and sort of educate people, but there is like a respectful and responsible way to do it. A lot of people, when they start getting into the fear aspect of it, they just like nuke the charts, understanding of how that negatively affects price action, but also no understanding of how that actually, like, they're giving a ton of money away in terms of their transactional costs. So there is a smart, respectful, and responsible way to do it by taking smaller slices over a period of time to not negatively affect price action. And if you're someone that's unsure of how to do that, I mean, I'm looking at someone on our current charts that's right now sitting at a profit and loss of negative $4,000 for getting into the token, and another one that's negative $2,000. So if you're trying to jump to the next narrative and trying to jump to the next shiny thing, you're probably going to get rinsed out. That said, if you're someone who still wants to take profits, because that's why we're in this meme coin space, that's why we're in this crypto space, is what Raoul Pal talks about, is the lifestyle chips. There is a way to do it to take those effectively, and importantly, to not have a net negative effect on the charts. I'll leave it at there, but we can get so much into that on a further discussion. But let's go into some wild ass guesses. We'll call them wags for right now. Maybe some bullish predictions as we're looking at this crypto space. I would say maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, as we got into beginning of January, I was looking at the crypto bull cycle that we're in to potentially starting to hit a top as we get into March and April of 2025. With what we're seeing in the crypto space, I don't think that's going to happen now. I think now this crypto bull cycle is going to be pushed back into like 2026, if you will. But regardless of what happens, I think the most important thing is to have a plan for whatever happens overall. So, if Bitcoin stays at $97,000 and drops to 80? Do you have a plan for that? Or if Bitcoin is at 97.2 today, Wednesday is at 100, Friday is at 104. Next week we see 110. The week after that we see 125. That'd be amazing. But do you have a plan for that? Most people don't. Most people are unprepared for whatever happens. But I urge you, if you're taking the couple moments out of your day to tune in to whether it be the YouTube live here or whether it be X live, thank you for taking the time and being part of this. But have a plan either way, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, whether it chops, whether it ranges. Have a plan and be prepared for it, because not enough people do that and not enough people are prepared. If we're talking about Bitcoin, I really see Bitcoin potentially going into that 120, 150 range as we get into probably Q3 2025. Could we see a top into the 200 to even 220 range? I mean, absolutely, but there's a lot of factors that need to happen with that. Personally, I'm really happy with where Bitcoin's at. Bitcoin for me is a long-term holdable asset. I really don't intend on selling any of it. I might, swap a little bit to USDC if I'm looking at an arbitrage play and I don't have the liquidity for it. But understanding all of that capacity is super important. I'm looking at XRP real quick here. I remember when XRP was a task on Coinbase. If you remember those back in the day, that was really cool. I had XRP and got rid of it, but that would have been when it was a task, let's say back October 2017, I think, October 2018, when it was, at the price of less than 20 cents. Or even like, I think one more zero in front of that. So 2 cents or even 0.02 cents. Where am I going with this? I mean, XRP is sitting at $2.42. We saw XRP hitting like in the $3 range in 2018. We obviously saw it hitting in the $3 range at the start of 2025 here. So when you're looking at those arbitrage opportunities like XRP, maybe you don't have the cash flow to get involved in crypto. Maybe you can do some of those tasks within Coinbase or within any of the exchanges that actually give you tokens to participate. And whether you hold them or whether you flip them into something else, that's up to you. But just looking at XRP and where it's at now, coming full circle to my discussion already, I think you can't be properly, like, you can't plan for everything. You can't prepare for everything. So getting the exposure that you feel comfortable with and getting the preparation that doesn't, shake you out with any changes in the market would be key going forward. So other than XRP that caught my notice, obviously Solana, a lot of talk around Solana. Solana being the easiest, if you will, close to normie friendly option right now when you've got Phantom Wallet. I remember seeing a little clip of Dave Portnoy talking about no one knows how to use Phantom Wallet. I agree with that. But as soon as you learn how to use Phantom Wallet, it's probably the closest thing to an Apple onboarding or an iPhone onboarding that's quick, simple, easy for people to understand. So Phantom Wallet's a great way for people to get going. And as we see, the price of Solana obviously is reflecting that. Just under $100 billion market cap, sitting at $2 or $203 right now. What could we see with Solana going forward? I really think a $5 Solana is not out of the question within this cycle, or $500 Solana. Hopefully not a $5 Solana, but if it does, massive buying opportunity. But a $500 Solana, I think, is well within the cards. Bullish case scenario, we could see $1,000, we could see $2,000. I really don't know in this cycle, but I mean, I'm positioning myself accordingly, and I'm prepared for if Solana ranges within this 200 to maybe 250 range, or if we see it in price discovery hitting 500 or more. We've got to plan accordingly. So I urge you, whatever it is, have a plan for that. A few questions came in with Sui as well, sitting at a $10 billion market cap right now. It is the gaming token overall, and the gaming token that, not gaming token overall, it is the most gaming focused token that I have exposure to, and I think most people have exposure to within the crypto space. X, just time out for a moment. Those of you on YouTube, pop on over to X. It's Dan is Driven on X. Follow me up there. We're going to identify how we can get better with the live streaming on X here, or on YouTube, but hop on over to X. We'll have some fun over there. Thank you for taking the time to tune in, and I appreciate you guys doing that. I'm going to end this stream now on YouTube. Hop on over to X and join me, and we'll have a better system going forward. But thank you guys so much for joining on in. Okay, now that